y'all, it's Annelies, and in this video I'm going to show you how to update your iPhone to iOS 14. Updating your iPhone or an iOS device can be pretty simple. However, I also know that it can be kind of daunting, especially if you've never done it by yourself before. So this video is going to be a very basic walkthrough of updating an iPhone to iOS 14. Something I would like to note up top is that although iPads are now on their own operating system called iPadOS, the process looks almost identical. So if you want to follow through these steps to update an iPad to iPadOS 14, you can also do that. Now, before we get started, there are going to be a few things that you're going to need to check. First, you're going to need a Wi-Fi connection. A Wi-Fi connection is that little symbol that looks like a quarter of a rainbow. You can find Wi-Fi connections at places like your home, your work, or a public place. More than likely, you have a Wi-Fi connection at home. Next, of course, you need your device. I'm going to be using my iPhone XS. You also need to make sure that your phone is charged. It is very, very important that your phone does not die while installing the new software. So make sure it's charged to at least 50 or 60% and make sure you have a charger nearby. You also need to make sure you have some free storage on your phone. My update said it would take about 2.8 gigabytes of space, but it could be different for you. It could be more or less. So just make sure you have about 3 to 4 gigabytes available of free storage on your phone just in case. And lastly, and most importantly, make sure you have a backup of your device. If you don't know how to back up your device, whether that be an iPhone, an iPad, or an iOS device, I will leave instructions in a video that I made in the description down below, so that way you can go back up your device before we get started. The reason why it is so important to make sure you have a backup before you update your device is that in the event that something goes wrong, maybe your phone dies, maybe you lose internet connection, you won't lose all of your information currently on your phone. So a rule of thumb is before you update your phone or your devices of any sort, whether that be a phone or a computer or an iPad, always make sure you have anything that you care about backed up, because there's always a tiny potential that you might lose it. So better be safe than sorry. And I just wanted to repeat before we get started, this video is a very basic and simple educational tutorial on how to update your iPhone or iOS device to iOS 14. If you're somebody who has updated your device in minutes before, you don't need my help and you do not need this video. This video is for folks who maybe have never done this by themselves, or they've done it once or twice but would just like somebody to walk through the process with them. I'm going to be explaining things very clearly and very detailed to make sure nobody gets lost. So if you do not need basic step-by-step directions, this video is not for you. However, if you would like those basic step-by-step directions, let's go ahead and get started. I'll have my phone on screen here so that way you can follow along with all these steps. So first, you're going to unlock your phone and you're going to go into the Settings app. Now, if you look at the Settings app, which is the gray square with the gears inside of it, you're going to see a little red number 1 next to it. Something I like to say is follow the ones, and you're going to see throughout this we're going to be following the number 1. So go ahead and open the Settings app. Next, you're going to go to General, and something that you'll also see is that there's another number 1, so go ahead and click on that. And lastly, you're going to click on Software Update, where you'll also see that number 1. Once you're there, you'll see this screen, which tells you how much space is required for this software update. Now, at the bottom of the screen, you're going to see a button that says Download and Install. Go ahead and click on that. You're going to be asked to put in a passcode if you have one, so go ahead and enter in your passcode. Then you'll have to accept the terms and conditions. You'll hit agree in the bottom right-hand corner and then one more time in the middle of the screen. Once you've accepted the terms and conditions, your update will start to download. The time estimate can vary. I always like to say that the time lies. For me, it said it would take 29 minutes to download, but in actuality, it took about 25 minutes. Now, once the update is done downloading, you'll know it's done because there won't be any loading bar at the top anymore, and that button that said download before will now say install now. Before you hit install now, just know that your phone is going to be incapacitated. It's going to be turned off and you won't be able to use it to make phone calls or send text messages. The install process takes about 15 or so minutes, so make sure you're in a position where you're able to be without your phone for the next 15 to 20 minutes. Once you're ready to install the update, go ahead and hit install now. Shortly after you hit install now, your phone will actually turn off. Then it will turn back on, but with a black screen with a white Apple logo in the middle and a white loading bar. Now the update is installing onto your phone. It is very important, like I mentioned earlier, that your phone does not die during this process. So if you think your phone has low battery, go ahead and plug it in to charge. Also, you want to make sure you stay on Wi-Fi. Like I said, this process can take anywhere from 15 to 25-ish minutes. For me, it took exactly 15 minutes. Once the install is completed, you will be greeted with this lovely hello screen. screen. Just as a heads up, it is going to cycle through hello in multiple languages. It did not change your original language. This is just a welcome feature. Go ahead and open your phone, whether that be swiping up like I do on my XS, or pressing a home button. Now we have to go through this tiny setup wizard. And when I say tiny, I mean tiny. It's only gonna take like 2 minutes or so, and it's just asking us some basic setup/appearance questions. As you go through these screens, if something that you're seeing you are not familiar with, make sure to read the blurb on the entire screen. It will give you a lot of information and actually tell you exactly what it's trying to ask you. So now that we've unlocked the phone, let's go ahead and hit continue. The next screen that I have is iPhone Analytics. What I like to say is that this is Apple asking for you to help them help you. Your phone is asking if it can share data with Apple, so that way when new updates come out and perhaps there's maybe issues that some folks are having, it can share information like analytics or performance data with Apple, so that way they can update the software and improve it, so that way it's better for you and you have a better user experience. They don't want any information about you personally, it's just asking for information to see how your phone is performing. I chose Share with Apple. Now the next screen is App Analytics. This is pretty much the exact same thing as the previous screen, except this time it's for app developers. So folks who make apps that aren't made by Apple, like Facebook, Lyft, Google Maps, it's asking you the same question. Help the app developers help you. I chose Share with App Developers. Next, we have Display Zoom. You have a choice between Standard and Zoomed. What Zoomed does is, like it says, zooms everything in just a little bit. You're gonna have your apps, your buttons, and your text are all going to be a little bit larger. This is a matter of preference, but once you have selected yours, go ahead and hit continue. And then you'll have the final screen that says welcome to iPhone. Swipe up or hit the home button, whatever you have, and then you are ready to go. Your phone is updated to iOS 14. Not so hard, right? And that, my friends, is how you update and go through the tiny setup wizard after updating your iPhone to iOS 14. Now, like I mentioned, this update process is pretty similar for iPadOS for the iPad. So if you want to follow these steps, you can use this video to guide you through the update process for an iPad to iPadOS 14. I hope this video was helpful and educational. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you have a friend who you think would also benefit from this video, go ahead and share it with them. And if you like tech videos, whether they be tutorials like this, and I also make some other fun tech reviews and lifestyle videos, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. It really supports me. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments down below, or you can also call AppleCare, which is Apple's support line, which is 1-800-APL-CARE. That's the phone number for AppleCare in the United States. I really enjoy making tutorials like these so that way I can help you enjoy your technology and understand it just a little bit better. So if you have any requests for tutorials or explainer videos for any of your technology, mainly Apple products, because that's my forte, go ahead and leave that in the comments down below. Otherwise, that is it for me. Have fun with your iOS 14 and exploring your new device. Stay beautiful, have a marvelous day, and I'll chat with y'all in the next one. Bye!